Try this again. As I was saying, I've been seeing a lot about marriage lately and husbands and wives and things like that. And the woman that I love, just to tell you uh, a little bit about me, I never loved anybody in my life, man. I didn't know what that meant. Okay, I didn't know what that meant. But there's come a time where you got to mature and you got to grow up. Okay, and that's what I did, man. And this specific person, man, I made every attempt I could uh, to reach her and offer myself to her and try to like initiate like something a little bit deeper. Um, so I'm gonna give you because I feel like she listens. You know, she sneaks on my page, my page and listens. So I'm gonna give her the truth so she can understand exactly where things went wrong and how they could I guess like get better too. I mean, but it's not on me. Okay, as a man, I did everything I could to try to communicate with this person, try to offer my love, offer myself, and she was busy doing other things with other people and kind of turned me down. To be quite honest with you, that's the absolute truth, and tried to reach back out late at a later date and was all happy, and I was gonna tell her how I really felt. Like I was gonna really, you know, just explain myself for everything. I'm not, dismissing my guilt, or my actions because the thing was she was with another man. Okay, kissing this guy in front of me, and I was just doing her a favor, by giving her, rides put to places and things like that. Well, anyways, she was with this guy, I'm hearing things from the neighbors up the street, down the street. Still, I'm not no sucker either. You gotta understand something. I'm not no desperate dude that chases women around. I don't do that kind of thing. That's not me. I never had to do that in my life with a woman. And I'm not like desperate for like sex, like that. I'm really not. Sex was the least thing I wanted from this person. I wanted the more intellectual part. Like that was more attractive to me than sex. Intellectual. Vibing. You know what I mean? Just vibing. Kicking it with you and just holding conversations with you. Because I like the conversations we would have and things like that, and some other things, deeper things. And it was just like an unspoken thing that she never really hinted or gave me any answer like on how she knew me or knew the things that she knew, but she knew them. She told me a little bit about like her dreams and things like that, but it really wasn't much. But anyways, I reached back out. I'm in a different place. Life is going pretty good, you know what I mean? And I'm leaving my number. I said to myself, I'm gonna go, just lay it out there on a line for her, and yeah, I made that attempt um, by going to her mailbox and also putting my number under her door as well. Well, never heard anything back. I knew she had got it. She had to have my number. She doesn't have my number now, but I left my number for her. And when she finally called, after I put it in her mailbox the second time, she said, "Oh, hey, yeah, what's up?" And like, too cool for school, I guess. Too busy, for old Michael here. And okay, that's cool. I said, like I just wanted to talk and hang out, and see how you were doing. I don't want anything from you. I never want anything from you to begin with, other than to be that Rapunzel. You know what I mean? But she had other ones. I guess she cared about. And I said, "Hey, listen, I won't bother you anymore. If you don't want me to, let's just be real. let's close this out here. Let's get, because I need some closure, because I don't think you realize I wanted to just, like, tell her everything, when she called, because I finally got a hold of her, and I lost her number since then. I have no idea what I did with it, and I've changed phones and stuff since then. But I said to her, hey, listen, I'm the type of guy. Listen, let me know where we stand, because, like, I was excited, like, to be in something with her, and she had made a promise to me. She said, I'll always be by your side. Well, you're not, kind of not, and when I kind of reached out to you, you said, like, oh, you lost it. You don't know what happened. Like, kind of shook me off, like, real hard, and shunned me real hard. Well, that's cool. All right. Well, it don't have to be like some game. It is what it is. I won't bother you if you don't want me to. And that's where we left off. Now all of a sudden you want to be back in my life. Like I would love for you to be my wife. And, there's nobody but you. It's not like, there's a lot of options, man. It's just not. Because, like I told you, intellectualism is like what I'm after. The physical part, yeah, the physical part I like, too. But, like, I want a woman that has, like, I could have an everlasting conversation with and not feel uncomfortable. So, but I told her, I said, hey, listen, next time I see you, I won't bother you. I won't bother you again. It is what it is. I'm sorry. She's like, oh, it's just not the right time, this and that. Well, okay, that's fine. I'm not trying to, you know, make you feel like you got to talk to me. You don't have to talk to me at all. I'm not pressing you like that. So that's where we left off. And whether or not, I don't even know if she wants to, be in my life. I don't know this. I don't know this. I would like her to. I would like her to just kind of, like, stop thinking like I have to make a first move. I don't have to make any moves. You kind of put me in the dirt, in the ground, just like how God's kind of treating me lately too. So just putting me in the ground for no reason, I guess. Not giving me the credit I deserve, man. Not giving me the props, man, I deserve. I'm not looking for anything of monetary value. I'm just looking for some love, man. But that's long dead and gone. So now I get the vibe like she wants to come back in my life, but she wants me to make the move again, the first move. I'm not knocking on your door again. I'm not going to your house again. Dude, I went to your apartment with a key, okay? It's because my old neighbor gave me this key because I told her how I was feeling about you. And she's like, give her this key, And this key was pretty interesting because we had always talked about having the key to somebody's heart. I gave my heart away so many times, man, and got it trampled on. It's just, I got to protect my heart too. You know what I mean? I got to protect my sacred, space too. Which I do now. I set up boundaries now. I'm trying to put up boundaries. But as far as, like, me reaching out again, I don't know where you stand. I don't know, we don't communicate, so I don't know exactly who I'm communicating with or what is a sign and what isn't. I don't know that. But I do know this, is that the effort was put, from my part, I did the effort. And I got stomped on, I got trampled on, and I got put out. And so please do not expect me to make another move just to get trampled down again. I'm not doing that. That's insane, man. You're not going to hurt me like that again. If you don't, if it is what it is, we don't even have to talk. Like I said, I'll find somebody eventually. But the number one pick in my draft, man, I don't know where we stand. Like, I don't know. I keep seeing messages like she's going to come up to me. Dude, come on. I'm right here all the time. I'm right here. I'm not hard to find. I'm not hard to find. Like I just told you, I live right by railroad tracks. And where the Blue Eagle flies with all those white trucks and Blue Eagles on them. And right in my post, just right here, all the time. I'm not scared to go out or come out. Like there was a time where I was because, well, somebody was threatening to take my head off of my body, telling me not to lose my head. So I'm thinking people are headhunting for me. That's like my life. There was a time in my life where I was so traumatized and I wasn't living very right. I was caught up in a certain kind of lifestyle in life where I was traumatized, man. And I was a victim of severe PTSD, man, where I couldn't even take my shoes off, a couple of years ago because I was too scared to. Like, I always had to have an escape route, an exit plan, in case shit hits the fan. Because I've lived a life, man, where that door gets kicked in on you, shit's going to hit the fan real quick, okay? And that kind of plagued me, with nightmares and uneasiness and anxiety, until I, got over it. I'm still not completely over the trauma, so to speak. I mean, but I certainly don't live in fear, and I don't walk around in fear anymore. And that's cool. You just, left me, without any answers and things like that, and that's cool. After the promises were made and things like that, and I'm not going to say anything about it, man, because it angers me, because I realized I was getting played by a cult, whatever you want to say. I was getting played. I was being used until I wasn't needed anymore. And that's a very hard feeling. But like, I'm learning to love myself, man. That's what it's all about. It's about self. Everything we live is self and the illusion of self, which is Maya, okay? Which is another name for Maria or Mary. So when I hear, things like the wind cries Mary, and I see things on your bookshelf that says marry you, I know what things are, okay? And you wouldn't give me any straight answers. You wouldn't give me any answers. And yeah, I went to your house with a key that said love is the only key to happiness. It's the key to happiness. Because we used to talk like, oh, you have my heart, locked away. And you gotta watch giving your heart out to people, man, because some people don't treat it right. And I feel like I've done everything I could. Like, I put myself out there and I, prayed about this constantly. And I kind of been shit on by everybody, including God. Can't lie to you. I can't lie to you. So, I mean, I'm just telling you the truth. Yeah, God abandoned me. Yeah, but at first it was like, oh, God's like threatening me. Like I'm being threatened? Really? No. No, I gotta get a different view on the nature of God and what God says and does, man. It's not what was being said to me. I was being threatened, okay, by the same people that claim they love me. So excuse me, forgive me, but I've been nothing but mistreated, and people have caused me not to trust them, and I have a problem with trust to begin with. Please don't blame me. Don't lay it on me. Don't think of me any less, because it's all love, man, either way, because that's just what I am and try to represent. Love and truth. And I feel like it wasn't done back to me. Not even like a single bit of it. But I kept pushing, kept it pushing. And it's in my nature to forgive. I have to. I told you, I like practicing it. And I don't think people have the right idea of me. And I don't know if she's intimidated by me or what, or yeah, it's just really odd, and it's not right. It's not right. I would like closure on it. because I don't know exactly everything that's going on. But I certainly am not gonna put myself out there again just to be hurt on a guess. I don't. This is what it is, the guess. So, anyways, I kind of feel like Abraham. Like, dude, like I lost a child too, like in the last couple years. And you want to talk about devastating and still devastates me? It's just really a shame, man. It really is. So we're going to share here now Jacob chapter 4. Abraham's offering of Isaac was a similitude of God and his only begotten. Yes, it was. So why did God send Abraham to kill his son? Isaac being like a symbol of Christ is what this is saying here, and Abraham being a symbol of the Father. And of course, we know the words of Christ on the cross was Eli Sabachthani, I believe, which means, Father, Father, why have you forsaken me? And yeah, very interesting to me. Did Jesus, did Yeshua, did he know that, God was going to abandon him? Of course he did. He asked that the cup be taken away from him in the garden. Didn't want to drink the cup of bitterness, the cup of death, the cup of sacrifice. Have you ever drinking the cup of bitterness? Have you ever crossed the bitter sea? I have. Okay? Like I said, Yode Vave, behold the man, behold the nail. This is all about the hand being the life force, the right hand being the life force of God and his Father. Okay? That's why I showed you that shin on my right arm. That shin means a whole lot. It means a whole lot. And if you don't know what shin means or what the shin represents, just look it up and figure it out. It's all about the life force of God's hand. As you see in the depiction of Adam and God, coming together, the brain, and Adam touching the brain, the thoughts of God, whatever, the consciousness. God's right finger is the one that's reaching out, his right hand. And 4 fingers, 1 thumb, 4 gospels, 1 revelation. Every revelation is a genesis or a beginning, a new beginning. But I can't just keep getting crapped on by the world, man, and falling behind, when it comes to people are married with kids. People, they're not going through hell like I am. I've been through hell and back, dude, for the kingdom of God, which I was lied to about, and isn't exactly anything like what I was told. And the promises that I was told, they never came true. They never came true. So it's kind of like you gotta understand something. When I tell you there hasn't been a prayer answered, okay? Not one. And I wish I could change that. I wish I could really change the way, the outcome of this. Because now he's got me in regret. I'm in regret for some reason. Because I feel abandoned and alone. And I have good reason to feel that way. And also, I haven't had any prayers answered. Maybe you have. Maybe you've experienced miracles. I haven't, okay? I haven't. I just sit here like an asshole and talk to nobody every night. And get no love, no recognition, no reason to hope or have faith in anything. But yet I continue on. Why? Because I'm a dumbass, I guess. Like I'm an idiot. And that's, most people in God treat me like an idiot. So that's cool. And that's what it says here in Jacob 4, chapter 1. This is about Isaac and Abraham, being a mirrored version of the similitude of God the Father and his begotten Son. Men should reckon themselves unto God, to God through the atonement. The Jews will reject the foundation stone. Well, that's funny because I was just in Mark where it said, hey, the cornerstone has become, the capstone, and it's beautiful and marvelous in God's eyes. Is it? Because it's not marvelous in my eyes. And I get no credit or no recognition for it being anything other than just, just some punk, And, but who brings the Bennu bird? Who's the ones putting the pyramidion on top of that pyramid? There's only one person, not the collective. Shit. Dumb shit with this collective shit, dude. I'm so sick of it. I understand the whole perspective and idea behind it. It's just that, some people deserve some individuality in these cases, and I feel like I haven't got it, and I can't, obtain it, again, without just walking back in the other direction, and I'll get it then. But they'll hurt my family or something like that. That's how that goes. Yeah. So it's all good. It's all good, right? It's all good. So where am I supposed to go now? What am I supposed to do? Okay, pray about it. No prayer answered. Nothing. Not a word. Not a peep. Not a sign. Nothing. And then, but you're sending me signs, right? You're sending me signs. Really? What signs are they? What, to go and chase a female again? To make my wife? And for her to bash me and put me down and kind of give me the boot? You want me to do that again? So you could shit on me again? That's like my idea behind this. So I want to make it clear and understandable to the person. And she knows who she is, and she's guaranteed she'll listen to this. And because she's sneaky. I don't like people that hide behind the curtain. You got to understand that. I don't like anybody that hides behind a curtain. Like Oz. We ain't doing that. We're not doing that. Because I should be valued a little bit more. I should be valued with a little bit more respect, than what I've gotten and what and it's not about me having no respect for I trust me, I have enough respect for myself never to do that again. I have enough respect to speak my mind on here and tell the absolute truth no matter what. Not one jot or tittle off, okay? So we're in here, Jacob 4, okay? Now behold, I came to pass that I, Jacob, having ministered unto my people the word, I cannot write but little of my words, because of the difficulty of the engraving of words upon the plates. And we know that these things which we write upon the plates must remain. Whatever so thing we write upon anything, be it upon the plates, that must perish and vanish away. But we can write a few words upon plates, which we will give to our children, and to our beloved brethren, a small degree of knowledge concerning their fathers. Now this thing we do rejoice, we labor diligently to engrave in these words, hoping that our beloved brethren and our children will receive them with thankful hearts. Man, I'm always thankful to get new knowledge and new material, and just knowing the real truth of things, having the right knowledge of things, the most sound right doctrine there is. And with no sorrow, neither with contempt, concerning their first parents. Well, apparently I have no genealogy, and apparently my genealogy doesn't matter. Apparently, I don't know. So we knew of Christ. We had hope of his glory many 100 years before his coming. And not only we ourselves have a hope of his glory, but also the holy prophets, which were before us. Yeah. You see how they died. They believed in Christ and worshiped the Father in his name, and also we worship the Father in his name. And for this intent, we keep the law of Moses, it pointing to our souls to him. And for this cause, it is sanctified unto us for righteousness. For even as it is accounted unto Abraham in the wilderness to be obedient unto the commands of God, offering up his son Isaac, which is a similitude of God and his only begotten Son. Right, but I don't know. I don't know. I have a problem with God waiting until the very last moment, and when Abraham had the knife out, and had his son on a damn, whatever, altar. That's pretty sick-minded stuff. I don't know. Nevertheless, the Lord God showeth us our weakness, that we may know that it is by his grace and his great condescensions unto the children of men, that we have power to do these things. Behold, great and marvelous are the works of the Lord, how unsearchable are the depths of the mysteries of him. It is impossible that man should find out all his ways. And no man knoweth of his ways, save it be revealed unto him. This is true. Wherefore, despise not the revelations of God. I embrace them, and I ask for more of them constantly, nonstop. I always ask for revelations from God. I told you, God has been non-existent. I mean, doesn't, I don't know. By the power of his word, I speak his word every day. I make sure I speak it, man. I try to live it, and I try to offer it freely to everybody around me upon the face of the earth, which earth was created by the power of his word. So it's saying here, earth was created by the power of his word. How does that work? Somebody speaks something into existence, not the Big Bang, like CERN's trying to lie to you and trying to tell you, because they did a Big Bang in a quantum realm, and that's the Big Bang that they're basing their information. The Big Bang's a theory. It didn't happen, okay? Don't forget that. The word spoke the world into existence, because the word is the world, okay? And when you speak, you release sound outside of your your tongue, okay? And depending on the frequency, depending on the words, depending on how eloquent you speak and how genuine you speak what's gonna kind of reflect back on you. And behold, by the power of the word came upon the face of the earth, which the earth was created by the power of his word. God being able to speak, and the world was, and to speak, and man was created. Then why not able to command the earth, or the workmanship of his hands upon the face of it, according to his will and pleasure? There you go. God really made this earth for his friends, for people to dwell safely and freely, not for you to corner, businesses in the market and build up wealth and treasure, on this earth, and steal and be greedy and rob the poor, okay, for the workmanship of your hands. That's like these men, they worship the workmanship of their hands. They fashion idols made out of gold, shaped like figures and things like that. That is a no-no. So wherefore, brethren, seek not to counsel the Lord, but to take counsel from his hand. And behold, ye yourselves know that he counsels in wisdom and in justice and in great mercy in all his works. Beloved brethren, be reconciled unto him through the atonement of Christ, his only begotten Son. Because I'm starting to feel like what I did, or the atonement, it doesn't matter. There's nothing that really, I've obtained from it, other than unrest and just chaos. That's it. Okay, and be presented as the first fruits of Christ unto God. See, what people got to understand is it wasn't that Christ, instantly resurrected. No, he was the first one to wake up. I was the first one to wake up, like the almond tree. Okay, Aaron's rod that budded. Okay, that's an almond tree. Jeremiah, what do you see? I see an almond tree. Okay, marvel not that I tell you these things. For why not speak of the atonement of Christ and attain a perfect knowledge of him, and attain a knowledge of the resurrection and the world to come? My brethren, he that prophesieth, let him prophesy to the understanding of men. For the Spirit speaketh the truth, and lieth not. That's true. It speaketh of things as they really are, and of things as they really will be. Wherefore, these things are manifested unto us plainly for the salvation of our souls. Behold, we are not a witness alone in them, for God spoke unto the prophets of old. The Jews were a stiff-necked people. They still are. And they despise the words of plainness. See what I mean? They got to be perfect. They killed the prophets and sought for things that they could not understand. Because of their blindness, which blindness came by looking beyond the mark, they must needs fall. For God had taken away his plainness from them, and delivereth not unto them many things which they cannot understand. Because they desire it, and because they desired it, God had done it, that they may stumble. Now I, Jacob, am led on by the spirit of prophesying, for I perceive that by the workings of the Spirit which is in me, that by the stumbling of the Jews, they will reject the stone upon which they build and have safe foundation. The Jews reject Christ, okay? They reject Melchizedek. They don't know. They don't know. They're so ignorant. They're so foolish. It really hurts me. How is it possible that these, having rejected the sure foundation, can ever build upon it, that it may become the head of the corner? Well, they're clearly building the third temple, so they're building their own temple. You know, we know what the real temple is, and who the real temple is, and this is no mystery. See, I will unfold this mystery unto you if I do not, by any means, get shaken from my firmness in the Spirit and stumble because of my own anxiety for you. Okay. So, I'm not going to get into chapter 5, but I just wanted to end it there, man. Like, I wanted to, I don't know. I guess, like, I'm really, really feeling kind of like alone and abandoned today. And I could use some comfort, you know, but I probably won't get it. And I just accept it, man. Whatever, you know, but supposedly God wants me to bawl. Yeah. That must be why he helped me out, you know, and got me through. He got me alive through it. I will say that. That I will give you. I'm alive still. I'm alive and kicking, and I'm still strong in the spirit, man. And I still ask God for forgiveness, you know, and don't claim to be perfect. And I always lay claim on the atonement of Christ, man, and just like the power that brings you, you know, the blood that's in you. That's what matters. And the individuality thing, I kind of like, I'm really struggling with, because it's not that I'm not a team player. I'm for the team, like, but there has to come, you know, a time in a man's life where, you know, he deserves some credit, man, and some individuality for his work. I don't know. I could be wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm crazy. But, you know, with the whole marriage thing, and I mean, I can't really, I won't do it. I have to have boundaries, and I am owed an apology, because it wasn't right, you know, how things got left off. And that's where I'm going to end it. I hope all you guys have a good night. And remember, just pray. Just pray. And when in doubt, pray. And take every thought captive. Because a lot of enemies rolling around here. And they're all masquerading themselves as angels of light. And this is nothing new for me. I've dealt with this. And they will dox you if you don't play by their rules and things like that. It's just really ugly. It's not a good situation I tend to find myself in now. I feel like I'm stuck. You know, I'm abandoned, and I'm left with no answers. So there it is. God bless, guys.